Hey guys, come on downstairs. We're playing UC Santa Barbara Gauchos baseball here on Mama's Basement. Today we've got the Troy Trojans at home in a two-game series. Our third series of the young season. We come in at 1-3. The Troy Trojans come into this one at 4-2. We are here in Santa Barbara. Beautiful afternoon for baseball. Moises Hutchins is on the mound for us, making his second start. He went 4 1/3 in his first start and has not given up any runs so far this year. The Troy Trojans from Troy, Alabama. Antonio Bennett steps in and we get this game underway. Bennett grounds it to the left side. It gets past Regan and it's going to roll all the way to the wall. Not sure what happened on that one. Took a bad angle for that ground ball. And the Trojans start off with a triple from Bennett. Malloy, Shern, Jacobson, Salmon, Smeriglino, Admire, Glover, and Hodges is the Trojans' batting order. Second batter with a runner in scoring position, and the pitch gets past our catcher, and a run's going to come in to score. Not a good way to start the ball game. Some pretty poor defense by Santa Barbara. Fly ball into right field. Farinacci's underneath it, and he makes the play. Geyer, Zerby, and Farinacci in the outfield. Carson, Regan, Helton, Dessa around the infield from left to right. The battery is Hutchins on the mound and Drever behind the plate for us in this one. One out, and a line drive over the top of the first baseman's head into right, and another base hit for Troy. Brings up Brian Jacobson. This guy has some pop in his bat. You can see his power rating at 84. Runner on first. Four-seamer taken high by Jacobson. Two-seamer over the plate. The delivery from Hutchins. Curveball swung on and missed. A 2-2 count with one out. Ground ball to third. Carson has it. On to Dessa at first for out number 2. That moves the runner into scoring position for David Salmon. Salmon takes the two-seamer high and away. It's a 1-0 count. And now he's going to lift a pop fly to the left side of the infield. Carson makes the catch. That will end the inning. It's 1-0 Troy. Jared Gilmore, the starting pitcher for them, making his third appearance. He's got an ERA of 7.11. And our batting order today is Helton, Carson, Farinacci, Regan batting cleanup, Dessa, Coltrinari, Geyer, Drever, and Zerby. And we get things underway for our half of the first inning with Jeremy Helton. He takes the first two pitches for strikes. Fouls one off. 0-2 delivery, grounded to the right side. Salmon has it. He's going to step on the bag for out number 1. The Trojans defense, Admire, Bennett, and Malloy in the outfield. Smeriglino, Hodges, Glover, and Salmon around the infield from left to right. Gilmore on the mound, and Shern behind the plate for the Troy Trojans. One out now. Ground ball to the right side. Play made by Glover on to first for out number 2. Daniel Farinacci. We need to get him out of the little slump he's been on to start the season. 0-1 count. And Farinacci lifts one into right field. That one's going to be playable for Malloy. And at the end of one, it's 1-0 Trojans. Here is Matthew Smeriglino. Delivery from Hutchins. Chopper to the left side. Regan has it. On to first, and Dessa with the stretch makes the play for the first out. Here is Vince Admire now. Admire takes the two-seamer over the inside corner, 0-1, and now he grounds it to the right side. Dessa has it. He will step on the bag for out number 2. Second baseman Joe Glover. Glover swings and misses at the curveball. Troy does have some speed in their lineup. Glover is one of those guys. He swings and misses at the curveball. And that will end the top half of the second. It's still 1-0 Trojans. Regan steps in now to lead off the bottom half. Regan skies this one out to right field. Underneath it is Malloy for out number 1. Warren Dessa, the first baseman, stepping in now with 1 out. The delivery, circle change, taken for strike 1. Dessa takes the fastball off the plate. And then lifts one into right field. That one might drop. No, nice play by Malloy as he comes sliding in to make the catch. In right, Nate Coltrinari now, the designated hitter today. Coltrinari takes ball 1. Fouls one off down the third baseline. Little behind the two-seam fastball. And now he lines one to the right side of the infield. Glover makes the leaping catch. At the end of 2, it's still 1-0 for the visitors from Alabama. Here's Hodges. 0-1 count. Hodges lines it to the right side. Helton plays it on 1 hop. On to first to Warren Dessa. For out number 1, here is Bennett, the leadoff hitter. He tripled back in the first inning to lead off the ball game. 1-1 count, the delivery from Moises Hutchins. Taken for ball 2. Now a chopper to the right side. Dessa fields it onto Hutchins. And he steps on the bag. Here is Jason Malloy. Made a nice play out in right field. Last inning. 1-0 count. To Malloy. Malloy swings and misses. 1-2 delivery. Chopper to the right side. Dessa plays it. And that will retire the side in the middle of 3. Trojans 1, Gauchos nothing. And Adam Geyer lines this one into left field. A low fly ball. Catch is made out there in left by Admire. Here's Drever. Takes strike 1. 1-1 count now with 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd. Swung on and missed, and then grounded to the right side onto the pitcher, and he will beat Drever to the bag for the out. Jim Zerby with 2 outs. He's the 9th batter. Swings and misses at the changeup. He's just up there chasing everything, and now he grounds it to the third base side where Smeriglino makes the play. At the end of 3, it's still 1-0. And here is Ty Shern, batting .474 on the year. He is 1 for 1 today. Hutchins gets ahead 0-1, and now 0-2. And here is a high fly ball to the right side of the infield. Dessa underneath it, and Dessa will make the catch. Brian Jacobson, batting .294 on the year. Jacobson takes the slider over the inside half of the plate for strike 1, and now he grounds it to the left side. Carson on to Dessa at first for out number 2. Here's David Salmon. Salmon swings and misses at the fastball, and then chases the curve. Takes the circle change for ball 1, and then flies this one to left field. Geyer is chasing it down into foul territory, but he's not going to get there. 1-2 count. Another pitch fouled back. Curveball drops in low. And another one flown out to left field. This time it's playable for Geyer, and he will squeeze it to end the inning. In the middle of 4, it's still 1-0. Santa Barbara looking for their first hit of the game. Helton, Carson, and Farinacci due up for the Gauchos. Here's the first pitch from Gilmore. And Helton's going to ground it up the right side. That's going to get past the first baseman into right field. And that is the first hit of the game for UCSB. Here's Carson now. Takes ball 1. The runner on first, a 2-0 count now. Curveball makes it 3-0. And the two-seamer drops in low. So Gilmore gives up a base hit and then walks the number 2 hitter. And Daniel Farinacci with 2 runners on and nobody out. Chance to do some damage for Santa Barbara. 0-2 count to Farinacci. Four-seamer is taken for ball 1. No swing. And then he chases the circle change for the first out. John Regan, batting .353 on the year. Two-seamer inside. Here's the 1-0 delivery. It is down. 2-0. Two-seamer swung on and missed. It's 2-1. Here is the pitch. And it is lifted out into left center field. That one's going to split the gap. One run's going to come in to score. Another one rounding third will score standing. And Santa Barbara takes the lead. Two-seamer. It's a 1-1 count with one out. Runner on second. 3-1 count now. And that is taken for ball 4. Here's Coltrinari. First pitch from Gilmore, taken for strike 1. Grounded to the left side. On to second for out number 2. On to first for... No, it is safe at first. So we got runners on the corners now with 2 outs for Geyer. And Geyer lifts it into left center field. That one is also going to reach the gap. Runner on first is rounding third and heading to the plate. And another 2 RBI double for Santa Barbara increases the lead to 4-1. Here's Drever trying to tack on another one in a big inning for the Gauchos. Ground ball to short. Hodges has it on to first, and that will finally retire the side. Santa Barbara puts up 4 runs on 3 hits in that inning and leads the Troy Trojans 4-1. Here's Smeriglino. He fouls off the Hutchins delivery. James Donnelly is getting loose in the bullpen for the Trojans. May we see him in the bottom of the 5th. 1-1 count now. Line drive, base hit into right field. Brings up Vince Admire. Nobody out, a runner on. Ground ball to Regan at short. He passes up the play at second and goes on to first for out number 1. Joe Glover now with 1 out and a runner on second. Glover swings and misses at the first delivery. Goes around on that one for strike 2. And then chases the curveball for strike 3. And now Hutchins will face Hodges. And Hodges pops this one straight up in the middle of the infield. Helton makes the play. And that will retire the side. It's still 4-1. Santa Barbara with the lead. As we head to the bottom of the 5th, Raphael Carson, third baseman, up with 2 outs in the inning. And Carson off the bag, but it's still played at third by Smeriglino. And at the end of 5, Santa Barbara still leads 4-1. We go to the top of the 6th. Nobody out. 0-1 count, 0-2 count now. And Hutchins gets the strikeout to lead off the inning. Top of the 6th, 1 down. This one lifted into right field. Farinacci is going to make the play down by his knees for out number 2. Ty Shern now batting .450 on the year. And Shern grounds it to the right side in foul territory. 0-1 count. And fouls the breaking ball straight back. Here's the 0-2 delivery from Hutchins. Curveball breaks low out of the zone for ball 1. And then the two-seamer is taken on the inside corner, and he is rung up. In the middle of 6, Santa Barbara still leads by 3. John Regan 1 for 2 today with a pair of RBIs with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. Swings and misses. It's a 1-1 count now. Here's the delivery. Fouled back. 1-2. Chopped foul down the third base line. Two-seamer on the inside corner is taken for ball 2. Swung on and chopped to the right side through the hole for a base hit for Santa Barbara. Warren Dessaw, batting .294, took a walk in his last plate appearance. 1-1 count with 1 out, runner on first. Delivery from Gilmore. Two-seamer in for strike 2. Fouled off. And swung on and missed for out number 2. Here's Nate Coltrinari with 2 outs. Coltrinari takes the curveball for strike 1. Coltrinari grounds it to the left side. Play is made by Hodges on to first. To Salmon for the final out of the inning. We're through 6 here in Santa Barbara. It's 4-1 Gauchos. Brian Jacobson leads off the top of the 7th. Still facing Moises Hutchins. Ground ball to the shortstop. Regan up with it, over to Dessoff for out number 1. David Salmon now, batting 188 on the year. No relation to former Angels first baseman Tim Salmon. And Salmon lines this one up the middle for a base hit. Zerbe fills it. One out, one on, and another base hit right back up the middle. So a couple of men on for Vince Admire. He's 0 for 2 today. With one out, and Admire grounds it to Carson at third. He's going to go to second. And on to first for the double play. So we stretch. Here in Santa Barbara, still 4-1 Gauchos. Jim Zerbe with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Takes the fastball for strike 1. Check swing at the circle change is taken for ball 1. And then lifted high into shallow left field. And the shortstop, Hodges, makes the play to end the inning. We go to the 8th. It's 4-1. Gauchos with 4 runs on 4 hits. Trojans with 1 run on 5 hits. No errors in the game for either side. 0-1 count. Ground ball up the middle. Helton can't reach it. It's into center field. And the leadoff man's aboard for the Trojans. Kevin Hodges steps in. Hodges takes the slider down and in. Swings and misses, looking foolish on that one. 1-1 delivery is taken for ball 2. Ground ball to the left side. Carson on to second. Helton on to first, but not in time. So with 1 out and a runner on first, it brings up Antonio Bennett. Bennett swings and misses at the curveball. 0-1 count. Here's the delivery. Popped right up the chute. Drever behind the plate will make the play for out number 2. And here's Jason Malloy, the right fielder. With 2 outs and 1 on, and Malloy lines this one to center field. Zerbe's going to play it on 1 hop. And Malloy's on base with a single, giving Ty Shern a chance, representing the tying run. And he's going to ground the first pitch to Helton at second. And Helton on to first for the final out. It's 4-1 as we reach the bottom of the 8th. Jeremy Helton, the second baseman, with nobody out, will lead off the inning. Chopper to the left side, played by Smeriglino, on to first for out number 1. Rafael Carson now with 1 out. In the bottom of the 8th, Carson, big cut at the 2-seamer, comes up with nothing. Check swing on the slider, 1-1. A big cut at the circle change, it's 1-2. And Carson swings and misses and strikes out, bringing up Daniel Farinacci. Farinacci fouls it down the third base line with 2 outs. Here's the delivery. Ground ball up the middle. Play made at short by Hodges, but he will have no play. Farinacci will reach. And John Regan steps in. A pair of RBIs for him on the day. And Regan lifts this one high into left field, and that one is going to land foul. 0-2 count now. 2-seamer taken inside. It's 1-2. And the circle change swung on and missed, and that'll end the inning. We head to the 9th. It'll be Troy's last chance here in this one. The Gauchos will bring Garter in to try to nail down the save. 4-seamer taken for strike 1. We got a 1-1 count with nobody out. And a fly ball into left field. That one's going to split the gap. Geyer can't reach it. It's going to get all the way to the wall. Runner still on his horse, rounding second, heading towards third. He makes the turn and then holds up at third for a leadoff triple. David Salmon, 1 for 3 on the day. Chance to drive in a run for the Trojans and cut the lead to 2 with a base hit. And Salmon down the third base line. It is a fair ball. 1 run's going to score. Salmon's rounding first, heading to second. Geyer gets it back in to hold Salmon to a double. And it's 4-2 for Matthew Smeriglino, batting .462. He could score another run with a base hit, and he lifts the first pitch to left field. Geyer, camped underneath it, will make the play. Runner tagging and then retreating to second. And Vince Admire steps in now. He's 0 for 3 on the day with 1 out. 2-run ball game here in the top of the 9th. Delivery from Garter. Ground ball to Carson at third. Runner's going to hold at second. The play is made. And Harvey is going to come in to pinch hit for Troy. With 2 outs and a runner on, he does represent the tying run, but he's behind 0-2. Here's the delivery. Swung on and missed, and the Gauchos get the win. So they start this series with a win against Troy and improve to 2-3. A 4-2 final score here in Santa Barbara, California. The Gauchos are victorious. Quick look at the box score. Bennett for the Troy Trojans went 1 for 4. Malloy and Shern 1 for 4. Jacobson 1 for 4. Salmon 2 for 4. Smeriglino 2 for 4. Glover 1 for 3. Hodges 0 for 3. Salmon had a double. Bennett and Jacobson both had triples, and Salmon had an RBI for Troy. For us, Helton went 1 for 4, scored a run. Carson 0 for 3. He also scored a run. He walked and struck out. Farinacci 0 for 4 again. He's batting 158. Probably has our best ratings of any hitter on the team, so he should break out of that slump at some point. Regan 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Dessa 0 for 2. Coltrinari 0 for 3. Did score a run. Geyer 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Drever 0 for 3 and Zerby 0 for 3. Regan and Geyer hit doubles. For Regan, it's his second of the year. Regan had 2 RBIs. He's got 6 RBIs on the season, and Geyer had 2 RBIs, his first 2 of the year. Gilmore went 6 innings, gave up 4 hits, 4 runs, 2 strikeouts, and 2 walks for the Troy Trojans. For us, Hutchins got the win. He went 8, gave up 7 hits, 1 run, struck out 4, didn't walk anybody. Goddard picks up his second save of the year. Pitched 1 inning, gave up 2 hits, a run, and 1 strikeout. Second game of this 2-game series against the Troy Trojans. We're just going to coach this one, and we'll zoom through it here. And we end up with a 3-2 victory, so we sweep this home series against the Sunbelt's Troy Trojans. Box score, Bennett goes 2 for 4. Malloy 1 for 4 with an RBI. Salmon 2 for 4 with the other RBI. Admire 1 for 4. Glover 1 for 2. Hodges 0 for 3. Salmon, Bennett, and Jacobson all had doubles. Salmon and Malloy had RBIs. Bennett has had 2 stolen bases. He's got 10 on the year. For us, Helton went 0 for 3. Carson went 0 for 3. Farinacci went 1 for 4 with a run scored. Regan 0 for 4. Dessa 1 for 4 with an RBI. Coltrinari had a good game, 3 for 3 with a run scored. Geyer 1 for 3. Scored a run. Puzzluzny 0 for 2. Zerby 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and 1 strikeout for Zerby. Dessa and Zerby had RBIs. Zerby had 2 of them. Puzzluzny with a sacrifice. Belcher gets the loss for the Trojans. He went 8 1/3, gave up 8 hits and 3 runs. Casanova, 7 1/3 innings, gave up 6 hits, 1 run, 5 strikeouts. He got a no decision. Garter gets the win as he went 1 inning, giving up 2 hits and 1 run and a strikeout. Fountain also pitched 2/3 of scoreless baseball, 2/3 of an inning of scoreless baseball. Up next, we have the St. Mary's Gales on the road in Moraga, California. Quick look at the standings to end this episode. We are at 3-3 in non-conference play. Cal State Fullerton is at 6-2, leads the Big West Conference. All right, that is the end of Santa Barbara Gauchos Baseball episode number 3. Up next, the St. Mary's Gales in episode number 4 here on Mama's Basement.